From Nick Fury, 55. 3 opinions on the Seahawks performance against the Colts and what to expect against the Titans, be honest. Love the new offense with Russell Wilson. Great job there. Secondary was okay. I got some concerns still with the corners, but they played better than what I thought they were going to. Pass rush looked really good. That's a big deal for Seattle. Against the Titans, should be a win. Tennessee was terrible in Week 1. From Flash Gamer Paval, in your opinion with how Week 1 went, who is in the lead for the NFC West to win the conference? I am worried about the Niners' injury issues. Now, I thought they were going to win the division, then the Rams, then the Seahawks, and then the Cardinals. I don't think the Week 1 results are going to drastically change my ordering. I feel a lot better about Arizona. I'm not sure they're the favorites yet, but that is perhaps the best division in football. It is going to be brutal week in and week out. If you're a fan of any of those 4 teams, you should feel pretty good about where you're at right now. From SM, will all 4 NFC West teams make the playoffs? It is technically possible. Now, if the NFC East is bad, that takes them out of the running. I think the NFC South, probably the Saints are going to be in the mix. Maybe one of the NFC North teams is in the mix. It is a possibility. It's very, very difficult. A big reason why, y'all play each other. So you're handing out losses even if one team wins. So it is possible. It would have to require the other NFC teams to be pretty damn bad to make it happen. So probably not. I would bet no, but it is at least a chance of it happening. From Nick Fury, can Seattle win a Super Bowl with the performance they have given us? If they keep that up, yeah. Now, I think the competition level, especially with the opposing offenses they face, is going to be a lot tougher. When you face Matthew Stafford and the Rams, Kyler Murray in Arizona, even San Francisco and whether it's Garoppolo or Lance by then, I think those offenses are going to be better than the Colts with Carson Wentz and a bunch of injured receivers. So, tougher competition coming, but a great start for Seattle. Shane Waldron be the key for Wilson to have a second half meltdown. I agree. I think that if the Seahawks offense, I mentioned this earlier, doubled their play action pass rate, that's a big deal. You should utilize play action. It's the best play call for any quarterback, frankly. So they got to remain adjustable. That was their issue last year, but I do think Waldron is having a positive impact early on Russell Wilson. Nick Fury, 55. Stephon Gilmore to Seattle, is it possible? Gilmore's on the PUP list, so he's not back for 6 weeks. I don't think Stephon Gilmore is getting traded. I don't think the timing of him being healthy is going to match up. And Seattle, by the way, doesn't really have the draft capital to truly make that work. George Poole, if Russell Wilson keeps this up, will he win NFL MVP? Our yearly debate, Russ for MVP, maybe. Super efficient, 18 of 23 for 254 and 4 scores. The hype around Russ is always going to be an option for them to be in the MVP race. But you've got Kyler Murray, you got Mahomes, you got probably Lamar Jackson too. I think Josh Allen will bounce back. Other quarterbacks, like maybe a Dak Prescott emerge throughout the year, Tom Brady. So Russ, I think, will be in this conversation. But I got to see more of it for an entire season before I give him the MVP like I erroneously did after the first 7 games of last season. So who will win NFL MVP? Make your way too early predictions. Who will win NFL MVP in 2021? Get your votes in for me right now in the comments section. Anish Anad, top 5 teams after week 1. Chiefs, Bucks, Rams, Seahawks, and Cardinals. I was not that high on the Steelers entering week 1. I had them over the Cardinals, though. I think I would put Pittsburgh in there, at least for now, just because they looked really good, especially defensively in week 1. The King, are there any good corners left from my Seahawks in free agency? How's Richard Sherman doing mentally? Seriously, other than that, no, there's no one good out there. Like, they traded for all those guys because there was nobody else. So it's going to be replacing your back end of the roster guys. No one out there right now in free agency is going to be an instant upgraded starter. Because of that, the answer is probably no.
We got Eric Hernandez Sr. Why is Tyler Lockett always so slept on? Snagged him in the 5th round of my fantasy league. Also, would like to see Josh Gordon join and be the wide receiver 3. Well, I don't want nothing to do with Josh Gordon on any team. That guy's been given more chances than literally anybody in the NFL. So I'm sick and tired of Josh Gordon talk. And then in terms of Tyler Lockett, I think he's just slept on because he's not really looked at as a true one receiver because he's a little bit smaller. Sure, I mean, last season he had some good numbers. He's a lot better in a PPR league. I have him in my fantasy league, so I was pretty happy at our Chat Sports fantasy league. But Tyler Lockett, man, hell of a player. All right, we got Eric Hernandez Sr. Will Russ finally get respect and MVP votes this season? I don't really think that it has nothing to do with respect. Russ always starts the season off really hot, and then he starts to slow down for whatever reason. Now, it could be an offensive change. It could be teams figuring out what Seattle's going to do. But the fact that he hasn't got an MVP vote, I will agree, is very surprising. But he needs to do it for an entire season. Now, if I didn't answer your question, y'all, you can always hit me up on Instagram at MitchellRenz365. I promise you when I text, my words won't sound as bad as what my voice does right now. But we do a lot of videos here at Chat Sports. I always want to know what you guys are thinking. So please, if I miss your question during our live NFL mailbag, hit me up on IG at MitchellRenz365.